Welcome to Hoops High, Chicago's leader in youth-produced sports broadcasting and youth media education. Hoops High is produced by high school students learning the skills of professional broadcasting. Hoops High is the flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is made possible in partnership with After School Matters, the Chicago Public Schools, and Chicago Access Network Television. We hope you enjoy the show.
Since we have everyone here, let's get started with setup.
Black is Collins, and in the white jerseys we have CYDI.
Three-point attempt is off the mark, number 2. Offensive rebound, number 9. The putback is off. He gets another offensive rebound, and he puts that one in. Free throw was in there. That was a pretty crazy form he had, but I guess it works. Number 4 for the black team pushing it up. Number 2 with it. He swings the ball, number 1. Number 1 to the middle for the flash. It's deflected, but number 5 regains it for black. Swings the ball back to number 1. Number 9 takes the ball in. Kicks it back out. Number 1 with it. Up and under. It's in there. He's 1 for 2. His first shot attempt was no good, but he regains the second one. Number 9 from White with it. Swings the ball. Number 7 with it. A high pick from number 2. Number 2 for the step back. The ball is deflected. Number 1 with it. Number 1 for 3, and it's off the mark. White pushing the ball down, and number 9 travels. Black inbounding the ball.
Hoops High is produced by high school students who are learning the skills of professional broadcasting. All of the camera work, announcing, directing, and engineering is done by us, the students.
Number 1 swinging it. Number 2 switches. Number 1 drops back. The flash at the free throw. Number 2 for the 3, and it's in there. Score is now 7-3. Black in the lead. Ball was turned over, and now White regains the ball back. Number 1 for the tip dunk, and it's no good. Number 11 sent to the line because he was fouled on the previous play. First free throw is up, and it's in and out. That would really have to be my worst fear, to be a basketball player, and my shot is up. It goes in the rim and circles around it and comes right back out. That'll make me so upset. I would feel like I deserved that shot. But he makes the second one. Number 1 from Black swinging. A long shot from the big man, number 9, makes it.
Free Spirit Media strives to give youth a voice so that we can inform and inspire others. Thank you all for supporting our work.
And a charge. Number 1 from Black. Great charge take by number 9 from White. He currently has the ball, bringing it up. Guarded heavily. Good look on the inside. And the ball is deflected out. Good defense by number 5 from Black. Number 5 from White at the 3 with the ball. He drives, and it's in there.
Collins with a turnover. CYDI fumble fingers.
And it's in there.
Yeah.
Black with another bucket. Number 2 with that one. Number 9 driving. He dishes off number 5, and he smokes it. He
Good
helps
rebound.
regain the offensive rebound. Number 2 tries to give it back to him, and it's deflected. Last touch by White. Timeout has been called. Right about now, we're going to toss to a quick PSA. And we're back with more game action. If you're just tuning in, I'm Kimberly Stewart, serving as your play-by-play announcer.
And me, your color commentator, I am Ingu Bonnie. We're coming back off a timeout. We have CYDI in the white jerseys, and Collins is in the black jerseys.
Black is leading by 6 points.
Yes, they are.
10.5 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Free throw is off the mark by number 11.
And the clock has been stopped. We have no idea what is going on.
Okay, it's
The
back
clock
up.
is back. One
Yep.
clock is back. 2 clock is back.
Can we get him to stay like that for the rest of the game?
The times are different. They changing the times. Okay.
Second one is off the mark. Big rebound by number 9 from Black. Number 4 with it. Black swinging the ball. Number 2 looking for an outlet. Number 9, great outlet. And he's fouled on a drive. I found it funny how number 9 for Black was fouled, but 2 of the white defenders were the ones on the
Knocked
ground.
down.
Right about now, we're going to toss to our center reporter for a game update. Thanks for that great game update, Mike. On the last play, we had White scoring. Number 2 from White ending the drought. I'm sorry, number 7. Scores 8-12, 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Number 1 with it. Bounce pass number 4. Swings it back to number 1. Ball is given to the man down below, number 12, and he puts it in there.
I don't know too much about CYDI, but by the looks of their team, obviously they're some bad boys.
Hold up. Have a flash, number 11. Great bounce pass inside to number 3, and he couldn't control the ball. It would have been an easy 2 points.
Come on
Good
now.
trap by the black team. Number 1 brings it up. Number 12 gets the ball, and he puts it in there.
Yes.
That's how basketball works. You pass, pass, pass.
Until the fumble fingers messed it up.
And great defense by Black again, helping White commit another turnover. Number 1 with it. He swings it. 3 for Black. No good.
A little too short.
White just needs to slow the ball down right now. With Black trapping and them already having a 8-point lead, White doesn't need any more turnovers like that one right there.
Like,
Number 2 with it, tries to pass it off to his partner, number 12, but it's stolen by White. Number 7 driving, he passes off number 11, he puts it in there. That's how you use the backboard. The backboard is your friend. Number 12
never
holding the
forget
ball.
that.
Number 1 for the 3, and he's 0 for 2 from behind the 3-point line. Number 7 with it, and it's off the mark.
What did he think he was doing?
Number
Kim
12
can't
from
say
Black with the charge.
Tell me what he thought he was doing, Kim.
I think that players get caught up too much in trying to get 3-point plays, trying to get an M1, trying to get sent to the line, that when they put their body on the defender, they focus more on getting the contact instead of putting the ball where it's supposed to be at, and that's in the rim.
There you go. Thank you for breaking that down.
Number 12 is fouled.
Hoops High is a flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is run in partnership with After School Matters, Chicago Public Schools, and Can TV as well. This is a team effort all around, and we are grateful for our partners who really do make this possible.
Yes, we are. Very grateful. Number 12 at the line. First free throw is up and it's in there.
He's 3 of 3.
Second
Mr.
shot.
Marquise Hill.
It's off the mark.
And he
Rebound
breaks
by
his
White.
streak.
Number
Little
9 being
hustle.
trapped. Ball being swatted away. Number 7 with the tries to alley-oop it to number 11, and it's off the mark.
Oh, number 11 a little embarrassed himself.
Yes, I would have to say, when your team is down by 6 points, alley-oop should not be the first thing in mind. If
Yeah.
you're that close to the basket that you can jump in the air and try to attempt to catch the ball, maybe you should bring your body down and put the ball back up for a lay-in,
Ain't no,
not an alley-oop.
they out there trying to be pretty.
The game's not run on points for looking good.
Right.
It's points for what goes in the basket.
Maybe they ain't never played in front of cameras before.
Just under five.
And 12 is back at the line.
First shot is off the mark. 33% from the line for number 12 for Black. Score is currently 10-16. Black leading. Second one is in there, 50%.
Mr. Marquise Hill.
Another almost steal by Black.
Keep up with the game action and the Hoops High crew with Twitter. Just search Hoops High FSM and follow us.
Follow us.
CYDI, they're having too many fast breaks. That's what's messing them up. But that's why they keep losing control of the ball.
And the 3 is in there for Black. I really think that the issue with White is that they've been committing too many turnovers. and they haven't been able to connect on as many of their shots as they need to. Timeout is called for White.
Yes, as it should be. That coach needs to go get him some hope.
Some encouragement, you know.
Guidance is what I was going to say, but they like a man-made team out there.
What do you think that White coach is saying to them right now?
Slow down, boys. Just slow it down. That ball ain't going nowhere, and if you're going to make the point, it's going to happen, but it has to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Kim, help me out.
You have to be patient.
There
you
we
know,
go.
good
Teamwork.
things come to those who wait. A wise man once said.
Yes, as that coach should be over there saying.
Well, I'm going to be at least about an hour late then. To the line, we have White, number 1, shooting 2.
White is CYDI.
Black is Collins,
That is Mr. Joshua.
making his first free throw.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is in there as well.
And may the church say amen.
Number 12 with it. The shot is up and it's in and out. Number 7 with it, shaking and baking, driving and profiling and styling, and he misses the lay-in. Number 12 with it, and it's in there. Number 12 not playing no games on this court.
Yeah, Mr. Hill, he out here. He doing these birds a little dirty.
Good block by number 9 for Black. Number 12 with it again, driving. Will he pass? Looks like he's gonna pass. Number 9 goes around the screen. He was looking for a charge. I'm sorry.
These attempted layups are just nasty.
Really. Number 2 with the 3 for White. Number 12 from Black bringing the ball down. Swings it to number 2. Number 5 tries to put up his jumper from the free throw line, and it's off the mark.
Number 5 is Mr. Larry Allen.
Number 1 from White with it. High pick by number 9. Swings the ball between number 9 and number 2. Pass the ball in to the flasher. Number 2 for another 3. And it's in there, back to back. This is really what White needs to get back in this game.
Yeah. I guess it's certain players that's good for certain things out there.
What would you say would be a few key players for the Black team?
For Collins, I would say that 12, Mr. Marquise Hill. What just happened?
Air ball. That's what happened.
But yeah, I'm gonna say that Mr. 12. I don't know why I keep calling him Mr. 12, but Marquise, I would say he is the key player in this game today.
And for White, I think I would have to say between number 7 and number 2. Number 2 for those clutch back-to-back three-pointers, helping his team stay in the game. That was really needed.
I would say it's Mr. 2, Ernest. Number 7, he's Mr. Fumble Fingers. He's the one that keeps having a fast breaks and losing the ball. So I wouldn't say that it was number 7 for CYDI.
Number 9 with it. Number 7 driving. And he smokes the lay-in. Number 1 for Black with a short shot. And it's off the mark. Just under a minute left. Scores 18-25. Black still in the lead. Ball is going White's way. Number 9 inbounding the ball. Number 2 for another 3. And it's in there.
Ooh, I ain't think he had it in him.
I mean, if this was 2K, he'd have a little flame under his name.
I just know why they got him on the team. That's his purpose.
And, well, it is really being served.
Ooh, they just came back real quick.
Really
4-point difference.
Those 9 points. Number 2, I would have to say, did the trick. Number 12 holding the ball for the last shot in the right corner. He swings. Number 1 swings it back. Number 12 for his own 3.
Nah.
And it's off the mark. And that's the first half.
We have Collins in the lead by 4 against CYDI, who has 21.
I would have to say that was a very interesting half. Both teams, both teams. I would have to say it's been a very physical game.
I was just gonna say that the pace of the game, it keeps it interesting. It's fast, it's not slow. No one's playing with the ball, dragging time out. It's just get to the rim and get out.
All right, turnover or shoot, turnover or score. But I would have to say that neither teams are afraid to drive and take it to the paint.
Right. I think that the coach had a lot to do with with White's comeback. Remember, after that timeout, that's when they came back and just started putting in work. He must have told them what I told you he was gonna tell them.
What was that? Remind us all.
You know what I said.
I do.
The audience know what I said.
Right about now, as you can see, we have Black warming up for the second half.
White needs to get out there and get at the free throw line. Mr. number 11.
That would be
nice. But now we're going to toss to our sideline reporter.
By 4. What do you think your team needs to do in the second half to improve on this lead?
Step the defense up, stay tight, stay aggressive on defense, stay in our game concepts. They got a little bit too comfortable when they got the 10-point lead.
Who would you say is one of your key players that you will run your offense through to win this game?
Kamal Hill, he controlled everything. Once he's the point guard. When he gets everybody involved more, and then he open up for everybody and open up for himself. Because once he get going, he open up more aggressive. He got to be more aggressive and look for make the next pass. He's missing a lot of passes he should be making.
Okay, so seeing as though your team, Collins Academy, is in a major rebuilding process, losing Cortez and a bunch of other seniors, how do you feel that your team is going to do this season without those guys?
They're going to do very well. They're going to shock a lot of people because, like Cortez, we got his little brother, Tamar Matthew. So with them, they will teach them a whole lot this year during the summertime before they leave off to school. They come here and work out with them.
All right, thanks, Coach, for the interview. I know you got to get back to your team. All right, once again, my name is Michael Ingram, and I'm going to toss to a quick PSA.
Look at my stuff. Pick it up. Do my work. Yeah, I like it.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I heard you got your grades today. Can I see your report card?
I left it at school.
Why did your report card at school when you know today was report card pickup?
Because it was bad.
Describe bad.
I got 3 F's.
How do you get 3 F's?
I'm tired of all the pain I go through. I feel like everyone just hate me. I never express or show my feelings to people. No one knows how I feel. I can't talk to anyone. The only thing that makes me happy is
Hello, Mrs. Jones. I am Dr. Howell. I am a social worker here. Thanks for coming to see me. A teacher recommended that I come see you. I noticed some scratches on your arm. You want to come talk about that?
yes.
Come step in the office.
Suicide is not the answer. Get help.
And we're back with more game action. If you're just tuning in, I'm Kimberly Stewart, serving as play-by-play.
And I'm Dalia Ngubani.
We have black and white going at it here at the Collins Academy.
No, Kim, we do not have black and white. We have Collins versus CYDI.
What's the jersey colors?
Collins is black and white is CYDI.
Black with the ball. Number 12 with the cross-country pass. Number 4 at the 3, and it's in there.
Who you going for, Kim?
I didn't know we were taking ballots, but you know, I'm for whoever wins. Number 2 coughing the ball up. Number 7 with it. He's getting trapped.
Fumble
Number
fingers. 9 with the ball.
Being heavily guarded by number 5.
Ooh, turnover.
Number 4 wrapped the ball and passed it right to the defender. Number 7 drives for the short shot. Off the mark.
Almost had it. He almost had it.
Offensive rebound. Ball is kicked back to number 7, and more technical difficulties with the clock. Score is currently 21-30. Black, a.k.a. Collins, in the lead. Pick by number 2. Ball is off of the foot of Black, a.k.a. Collins.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Number 11 with the drive, and great defense by number 9 from Black. And a quick 2 points for number 9 for White, bringing that score to 23-30. Still down by 7.
That half court toss almost went real bad.
Really did. Number 12 was paying attention, but they got it in right before he could, react to it.
I'm telling you, them fumble fingers.
Number 9 with the shot, and it's nothing but net. Big man got heart, He going to the line.
To the line, to the line. Oh, I don't like that.
I see some nice kicks out here on the floor.
I said that a long time ago. We got the peanut butter and jelly kitties.
See a few hyper dunks out there.
Uh-huh. Another pair of kitties. I don't know what to call them.
A timeout was called by White while he was being trapped, but the refs didn't hear him, I guess.
12 made another point. Ooh.
A lot of falling and a jump ball.
I said, no, my ball. I didn't even see 6 from CYDI come back in the game.
Black for the 3, and it's off the mark by the big man, number 9.
And don't forget to stay tuned for the Free Spirit Media News at the end of this broadcast. It comes on at 9:50 every Saturday after every episode of Hoops High. Learn about what's going on in Chicago and find out the latest on the most important issues with teenagers.
Number 5 with the N1. That was just terrible defense, I would have to say, for number 1 from Black.
Collins.
For the 3-point attempt, we have number 5 from White.
Which is Mr. Rio Bust.
His shot is in there, bringing the difference down to 8. Score is 26-34.
I wonder if they can cut this and come back and take the lead.
It ain't nothing to cut that score down.
It ain't nothing to cut the scope down. Hey, hey.
I'm sure they can do it. Number 2 with it for his 3, and it's off the mark.
His streak a little over with.
Yeah. He had 3 in a row. He should have left it, or he should have tried to shoot that one. It's like he just threw that one up. Black with it. Number 4 holding it down. No one is coming to defend him. Looks like the clock is just going to be wasted. Number 1 swinging the ball. Number 2 with it. Number 9 flashing the top of the key. Gives it back to number 1, who is not guarded and will continue to waste time. He cuts his dribble short, passes to number 12. Number 12 throws the bomb across the street to number 1. Number 1 back to number 2. Number 9 with the flash.
Big baby Drizzy.
Number 2 with the ball, back to the flasher. He passes it in to number 12. Number 12 dribbles out. And coach is yelling reset. Number 1 swinging it yet again. Number 2 with it. Number 4 comes to meet the ball. Top of the key, swings back to number 1. Number 1 gives it in. Number 12 for the 3.
And it's
off the mark.
short.
Big man, number 9 from Black with the offensive rebound and the attempt putback.
Big baby Drizzy. And we're going to toss it to our sideline reporter for the game update.
Once again, I'm here for your courtside update. The score is currently 35-26. College Academy leading. South Shore came out pushing it in the second half, but not really able to find anything. Collins come out scoring, shooting a lot of threes, coming in, taking the ball in, getting some fouls. But if you want to stay tuned for more interesting basketball, you got to stay tuned for more Hoops High. And now back to now back to my announcers.
Big baby Drizzy for a 3 came up short. If you can't seem to get enough of us, friend us on Facebook at Hoops High Production to get to know the crew.
I heard a hard smack, but no foul was called. Ball was deflected out of bounds, and it will be going Black's way. Black slowly bringing the ball up. Number 12 flashes. He's pushed, no foul is called. He kicks the ball back out to number 1. Number 1 bombs it across the street.
Collins
number 2 for the 3.
11-point lead.
It's off the mark.
Number 2, CYDI, passes to number 1, puts it up, comes short.
And another 3-point play attempt. And 1 for White, number 9.
And number 3 subs for 2.
Looks like a timeout is called.
Oh, or that.
Right about now, we're going to toss to a quick
Tell them.
PSA.
There we go.
And we're back with more game action. Currently at the line, we have number 9 from White, shooting 2. Score is 28-35, Black leading.
Number 9 is Mr. Derek Noel. His brother is out there on the court too. Well, his brother's on the bench. Number 7, Devin Noel, who has 2 points.
Dang!
Number 2 drives. Number 11 angrily blocks. But
Angrily.
It was a good block.
Oh, man, I would have hated to be on the other end of that.
Man, that wasn't even unpretty.
Great defense by Black.
11 is on number 2. You are watching Hoops High, and we're currently at 1313 South Sacramento Drive at Collins Academy, where we have CYDI playing against Collins, who's in the lead with 35 compared to CYDY's 28.
On the previous play, number 11, big man with his easy lay-in.
And the lead that was once 11 points is now cut down to 5. With
7.
11. Oh, well, 7.
7-11. Best slushies.
5:19 on the clock.
Number 12 pushing it from Black
Marquise
after the
Hill.
missed 3 by White. He's quickly attacked by number 5. Number 1 for the shot attempt, and the ball is blocked.
CYDI does a good job of defense as well, at defense.
I would have to agree with you.
I figured.
Great foul, I would have to say, by number. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for him to turn so I can see his jersey. By one of the White players.
That's number 5, I believe. 3.
3. Shout out to you. Big man, number 9 for Black at the line.
Big baby Drizzy.
His first free throw is off the mark. Second free throw is in. Number 7, driving over the big man, and he misses. Turnover by number 5 from Black.
Although we know that we are not perfect, we thank you for your support and encouragement. Number 5, he's not happy with that call at all.
Really, he's not.
He's subbed for number 2. Well, with number 2.
Moving screen is called against Black. Ball is going White's way. They'll be taking it out on the side.
If you would like to see more Hoops High, now you can see full games on our brand new website, www.hoopshigh.org, to see games from the past or to stream live from your mobile devices. Ooh, what was that?
And a timeout is called. That was a great way to regain the ball back, I would have to say, for White. One of the Black players are very upset, number 5. His feelings are in a bunch right now because he feels as though the foul should have been called on him.
I feel like it should have been. They almost killed him out there.
All right, looked like they were trying to play leapfrog and got stuck.
And then extra frogs jumped in.
What a scene. Only on Hoops High, I would have to add.
Oh, God. Only in this Collins gym would I have to say.
Only at 1313. South Sacramento. Have White inbounding. Number 7 asking for the ball.
Number 1, jersey snatching.
Oh. Kill him.
Short.
You can't come with all the shaking and baking and
Be short.
those shots have to fall.
Can't be short.
5-second call. Couldn't get away from the D.
Mr. Number
Fence.
12 was happy about that.
Yeah. With the score being 30-38, less than 2 minutes in the game, do you think it's a chance for White to come back?
If Mr. Ernest could hit them 3-point shots, I mean, that 3-point streak he had earlier, maybe they got hope, but it don't look like that's gonna happen. But you already knew that.
Number 1 bringing the ball down. Number 1 with it. Big man number 9, shaking and baking, and he's fouled.
Number 1 on Collins is Mr. Kamal Hill. You think Kamal and Marquise are brothers? Number 1 and 12?
I really don't know. Number 1 with the easy put in from Black. It could be a coincidence.
Well, I just thought that I should ask since since number 9 and 7 for CYD are siblings.
Number 2 from White, missing another 3.
Oh, per Ernest.
Yeah. He's currently 60% from behind the line. 3 for 5.
Mr. Ernest should have been out there practicing his free throws at the half.
Quick ball change. Number 1 coming out with it. 15 seconds left.
Mr. Kamal has the ball.
Looks like Black's gonna hold it for the last possession. A lot of hand being smacked. 3 seconds left. Will they make a shot?
Ooh,
and they do. I'm surprised no goaltending call was called, because the tip dunk that followed the shot attempt really did take the ball off the rim and push it back in, but that's neither here nor there. Final score 30-40. Black, a.k.a. Collins, taking the lead. Taking the win.
Took the lead and took the win.
Took it home.
I don't think CYDI led in this game at all. Did they?
No, they didn't. They had a very, very slow start.
You're right.
But at least they made it to 30 points.
Yeah.
Some teams can't say that.
And you are not telling the tale.
For our player of the game, we have Black, 12.
Yes, we do.
And
who's our player of the game, Mr. MVP, is Mr. Marquise Hill, and we're going to toss our sideline reporter with that interview.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Ingram. I'm here with Marquise Hill. So, Marquise, how do you feel that you played today?
Well, I think I had a decent overall game because this is my first game back with the team. So, yeah, I think I played pretty good.
So, seeing as though your team won by 10 points, 40-30, how do you feel that your team – what do you feel your team needs to do to put more points on the board and win by more?
I think we need to get a little bit more scrappy on the loose balls because there's a lot of times we have loose balls and we didn't get them. And don't turn the ball over. Like, keep the ball. You don't need to turn the ball over as much.
Any special shout-outs you'd like to get to anyone in particular?
Well, not in particular. I just get a shout-out to the whole team and the coaching staff. That's about it.
All right, thanks, Marquise, for the interview. Good game. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Ingram. You can watch HoopsHIGH every Saturday on KNTV Channel 19 for all the hottest high school sports action around.
You can watch HoopsHIGH on KNTV Channel 19 every Saturday at 8 p.m. Please visit www.hoopshigh.org to learn more. HoopsHIGH and Free Spirit Media would like to thank our sponsors. We are grateful for their support in making our mission of youth media education and opportunity possible.
Hoops High is family, communication.
Enjoy it. Hoops High is
astounding, creativity,
commitment.
Hoops High is
Exciting.
Meaningful.
Hoops High is
technology,
spirit,
A community.
Hoops High is
Home. Love.
dedication,
inspired,
If they probably never was exposed to it, they probably would have never have done it, but it's something that you see that interests people a lot.
I never worked with a camera, it was my first time learning about a camera, zooming in, zooming out. It was a real good experience for me, I think it changed a lot in me too. It changed how I think, and it changed something I like to do in life.
When I get older, I want to be some type of actor. So being in this classroom really helped me out, really exercise my ability to act.
We shooting it and we shooting it off like what we done been through, and people get to see it and they watching it and they liking it.
Like young kids in the community can do stuff that's worth some type of value.
Meet Jaden, a 16-year-old from Chicago. He likes reading, playing basketball, and daydreaming. As one of 75 million youth in America, he is the future of our country. But today, Jaden's future is uncertain. A new economy is evolving as Jaden tries to find his way in a school system where more than 42% of students drop out and even more fall behind. For Jaden and others like him, the future looks grim. But there is hope. Youth media programs connect with kids like Jaden, moving them from discouragement toward opportunity through the power of communication. Jaden learns about journalism, technology, and culture. He spends his time engaged at school, in youth centers, and at libraries. He discovers how to observe the world around him and share his own stories. He becomes one of more than 10,000 teens involved in the Chicago Youth Voices Network, a collection of innovative programs that come together with a bold vision to reach more people like Jaden, to transform education, and to shape the health of our city. Together, the network gives vision to the journalists, artists, engineers, and leaders of our future. One story, poem, film, blog post, one youth at a time.
The American dream to me, I guess I'm already living my American dream. It used to be to have a family, to have a home, to have a house, to have a car, to have a steady job.
For me, it's having a better life. not having to suffer, like economically, not being hungry.
Bueno, el sueño americano. Mejor vida, tranquilidad, oportunidades.
The American dream is that everybody would have an opportunity, everybody would be treated with dignity and respect, everybody would be able to earn a living, support their family, get an education. For me, it's not about a lot of riches, which many people think, but it's about equal opportunity for everybody.
They want to be able to live safely and securely, to be able to have some freedom, to feel that they're protected in, exercising fundamental rights, and they want to have economic stability, an ability to earn a living, to provide for themselves and their families.
Basically, in Mexico, there's no way you can work enough to save money and buy anything. I mean, over there, there's work, but there's no money. They don't pay you enough to survive, especially when you have a family of 4.
Buscando las oportunidades, buscando el trabajo, buscando una mejor vida para su familia.
Mi esposo no podía encontrar trabajo, ni yo tampoco. Yo estuve trabajando un tiempo de sirvienta en varias casas, pero pues con eso no podíamos alimentar a mis 2 hijos.
I would say a good part of it is economic. The countries that they come from have been damaged often by the trade agreements of our country, and they cannot support their family anymore.
If you are here in unlawful status and you actually lose some ability to come into the United States in a lawful status, if you've been here for a year or longer than a year, you become ineligible, and actually if you are found out and deported, then you're not going to be able to re-enter for 10 years. You lose actually what otherwise might have been avenues that were available to you.
My impression is our country right now is trying to get rid of every immigrant that's undocumented. In 2000, less than 200,000 people were deported. In 2012, over 400,000 people were deported.
I think there is discrimination in terms of someone who looks Hispanic is probably more likely to be the subject of a stop and inquiry regarding their immigration status. Somebody who speaks with a foreign accent. Some of the state laws that were passed in Alabama and Arizona, were clearly being enforced in ways that were discriminatory. There's a lot of fear on a day-to-day basis that anything that happens that could bring you into contact with any kind of governmental authority could lead to your deportation.
I would say that everyone who comes here without status is walking on eggshells.
Lo que más temor me da es que un día me lleguen a agarrar y no poder ir a recoger a mis hijos a la escuela.
I think there are certainly cases where one or both parents of children have been deported because they had no lawful status, but the children were born in the United States and therefore were citizens. And so that's the trauma of breaking up a nuclear family.
Yo creo que las personas que tenemos hijos, siempre estás temiendo salir, ir a trabajar y no llegar, no regresar a tu casa, no volver a ver a tus hijos.
Friday is my hard day watching those families being ripped apart. And some of them do move back to their country in spite of the fact that children are U.S. citizens.
Conocemos niños que se han tenido que ir a México porque sus papás no tienen otra opción, entonces pues mejor se los llevan. Siendo ciudadanos americanos pierden todos los derechos de estar en este país que les pertenece.
My biggest fear would be them sending me back and me not having the life that I'm used to.
You know, the reality is, if the United States could deport all of the undocumented people who are here, if we had the means to do that, it would be one of the dumbest ideas that anybody ever had, because there's so much economic activity, you know, that those people are engaged in. You'd throw the United States back into a recession.
How is my government any better off without my husband here? And I don't know. He paid his taxes. He had his own business. He raised his children, which I now have to do by myself.
I've seen people have to give up apartments, move in with family.
Cuando un miembro de la familia llega a faltar, si es una familia donde el papá es el único proveedor de ellos y es el papá el que es deportado, esta familia está completamente perdida.
Nos afectaría mucho porque pues al ya no estar yo aquí, mi esposo tendría que o dejar de trabajar o buscar quién cuide a los niños.
Currently, if you're in the United States without legal status, there is, and for people who were brought in by their parents before they were 16 years old, there is a program called Deferred Action, which gives you a 2-year temporary status that right now at least can be renewed and can get you work authorization and provide you with a temporary legal status. But there isn't any overall program for citizenship as a part of that program.
So how did you get your residency?
Well, when my parents brought me here, I came in illegally. I was 8, my sister was 3 years old. And they gave us a different name, they gave me a haircut. Actually, I crossed the border with a birth certificate of a little boy. They dressed me up as a little boy. And so they crossed me with another couple. They told me that they were going to be my father for that moment and my mother, so they crossed me over the border.
There are specified ways or manners in which you're supposed to be able to enter the United States and to stay in the United States. And you know, the two biggest areas are if you have family members, close family members in the United States under, you know, a theory of family reunification, you can petition to have, or those people can petition to have their relatives come to the United States and become permanent residents.
The image that struck me was, how can we move people like pieces on a chessboard with no control? They have no control.
Siempre trato de motivar a la gente de que tenemos que luchar. Ya estamos aquí en este país y ahora tenemos que luchar por lo que nos merecemos, porque no estamos haciendo nada malo.
And just all the wonderful skills and knowledge and values that they've learned in their own country that they bring here to share with us. I think it's just really enriches our society.
I think the majority of the people in the United States now favor immigration reform. I think the polls show that. I think the vast majority of the business community in the United States favors it and realizes it would be a good thing. Majority of the religious communities in the United States think it would be a good thing.
Think of what you're doing when you're separating these families, because most of the time when they deport a parent, the parent isn't doing any wrong. The parent is just here to give their kid a chance to succeed in life, to be someone.
Just remember, every person is a human being with the right to dignity and respect.
So what have you done on some vacation?
Nothing much, just traveling.
That's cool. How about you?
Basketball, play some baseball maybe, you know.
Oh, that's cool. So me, I'm gonna hang out with my friends and go to a park. Oh, hold on, I got a phone call. Hello? Oh, hey, Kayla, what's up? Oh, it's a party? All right, when? All right, okay. Yeah, I'm on my way. All right, bye. Hey, I gotta go catch the bus.
Catch the bus, a party.
Shouldn't we go with her? She shouldn't be alone at this party.
You know, okay.
So what is this party that you're going to? Is it safe? Do you know?
I'm going with my friend, so I don't really know exactly what's there, but I'm pretty sure she knows. As long as I'm with her, I think I'm okay.
Are you sure you shouldn't have more people to go with you? I mean, we could always give you a ride and you can come with us, you know, just in case. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm cool with that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
let's go.
The seasons are warming and danger is lurking. Stay safe while going outside.
So there are a lot of stories, but the first one that comes to mind has to do with a young girl, under 18, who was with her boyfriend at the time. She was charged with a violent offense that she did not participate in. She was currently enrolled in school, was on track to graduate. There was a gun involved, but she had nothing to do with the gun. But we have these laws in Illinois that mandate that if a gun is involved in a crime, then you automatically can add on 15, 20, or 25 years to your sentence. So this young girl, on top of the probably 6 years that she's going to be sentenced if she is convicted, will add on top of that an extra 15, even though there's no evidence that she really did participate in the crime at all. She was present at most, and now she's facing prison time. That'll put her in there for, she'll be in prison longer than she will have lived outside of prison walls.
During the rise of crack cocaine in the system, presidents and Congress, whatever, they put in some minimum sentences that if you did certain crimes, judges had to go by a set of standards and they had to go with the minimum sentences.
There's a lot of mandatory sentencing laws. They've been around for decades. They are both federal laws and there are state laws as well. They started a number of decades ago and they've been studied over that time. Why they came about, I think it comes from a well-intentioned place. All people want to feel safe. And so legislators are trying to pass laws that they think will protect their communities and improve public safety.
The law is based on incarceration. And you got to remember the different ramifications, the psychological effect of locking someone up. So that law would not be effective. Despite how many people they lock up based on their law, it would never be effective because the same people that they're bringing in that incarceration system up under the law are the same people that they're putting back out on the streets.
What mandatory minimum sentencing laws do is they take out all discretion of the judge and they take out all individual circumstances and they say you as a judge have no choice in how you treat this individual. Even if you think this individual doesn't need to get sent to prison, you don't have a choice. You have to sentence him or her to 3 years, 10 years, 25 years in prison. That's what mandatory sentencing laws do. And that's a problem because it takes out any individual determinations and it takes away any ability to look at individual circumstances.
You know what, I hear a young black male is more liable to be arrested out here and be jailed than any other sector in society.
It is a system that disproportionately affects poor communities of color and poor individuals of color. And it is a system that relies far too heavily on punishment and non-incarceration, and destroys and ignores the dignity of all individuals.
But a young black male, I would say 18, we can start 15, 16, up to 35, 40 easy, are more liable to be arrested and incarcerated than any other group.
Seen some data that shows that when it comes to gun laws, that young males from the ages of 17 to 25 are sort of the most common individuals who are affected by these gun laws, and a lot of these are mandatory sentencing laws. And they're young men. On the prison system, what mandatory sentencing laws do is that they exacerbate what is already an overcrowded prison system. So in Illinois specifically, we have a prison system that's designed with a capacity of 35,000 individuals. We're right now hovering at around 49,000 individuals. So we are extremely overcrowded. What mandatory sentencing does is it puts more people in prison and packs more people into tighter spaces.
In society today, a lot of the prisons are overcrowded because we got so many young black males incarcerated, you know, for petty stuff.
What it also does is, I would say that it puts the wrong people, a lot of the times it puts the wrong people in prison. Because these mandatory sentencing laws are extremely broad, and like I said, they take away discretion and the ability to really assess individual circumstances. So what it does is it ends up putting a lot of people in prison who don't need to be there, which in turn can make our communities even more vulnerable.
With the minimum sentencing law, society today realized that those laws were unfair. And it was unfair because a lot of those laws impacted black, African American more than anybody else. Those laws, a lot of them was in jail for like just minor infractions. If someone had a gram of cocaine, powder cocaine, they didn't get the same sentence as somebody with a gram of crack cocaine. You know, those laws impacted African American more than they impacted anybody else.
Unfortunately, the research has shown that these laws don't work, but I think they came from a place that was well-intentioned, but uninformed.
The legal system is a kangaroo system to me, like a kangaroo court. Now you have the district court, you have the appellate court, you have the Supreme Court. And we got to remember how these laws are created and applied through legislation. And well, in theory it works one way, but in practice it's a total another. So it's safe to say that if you have these jails overwhelmed with simple cases, non-violent cases, and people I studied being incarcerated, being jailed anywhere between 4 to 6 to 7 months, even up to a year for simple cases that could be solved in one day, one process. That's unjust.
So there are a lot of rehabilitative services and options out there. Even locally in Chicago, there are programs like Becoming a Man and One Summer Plus. These are job employment programs. These are programs that try to build the capacity of young people to have impulse control and to resolve conflicts peacefully. Vocational schools are great. So things that really focus on employment and education and behavioral modification or control have been shown and proven to work.
The biggest thing now are jobs. to me. Now, I know you may hear a lot on TV or on the news, whatever. People got to have a way of taking care of themselves and taking care of their family if they got family. Now, one of the first things we had to do, we got to be in school. I mean, school is not everything, but it's a big thing. You got to get out here. You got to be able to do certain things and have certain skills to be marketable for jobs.
Getting involved in positive programs, peer groups, recovery programs, religious-based programs, getting involved with similar programs like the Alumni Association, or getting involved with our Alumni Association, because this Alumni Association produces results. It's not just when we just go hang out. These institutions that I just named or programs produce positive results. Are they absolute? No, but are they very effective? Yes, they are. The only limit is in your mind. The only person who can stop you is the person that I'm talking to. To know your ability, to know your potential, is one of the greatest things that a person could become aware of. No matter how tough things get, I didn't give up. I have been through some things that I wanted to give up, but I always follow that small, still voice on the inside. And last but not least, I have to give thanks to God. And to me, God abides in the silence. God is the infinite truth that abides in the silence. It says, "As to speak is silver, then to be silent is gold." And that's it.
Good job, Ryan.
Good job, boy.
Who can see when a bird is down? Who can feel when he has no sound? You wander around and you feel so small. Your wings are broken.
I shouldn't have waited this long.
Afraid to fall, afraid to fall.
Hey man, did you talk to your girl yet?
No, she haven't talked to me in a long time. Speaking of her, she just texted me. Said I need to be ASAP. Wonder why. Man, shit, come on. She told us to meet over.
Yeah, man, it's too cold to stand out here.
You feel it in the air and you're all alone, all alone.
Good night, man.
You're all alone.
I should have waited.
Teen pregnancy is nothing to play with. You should just wait.
I've always wanted to have kids, and I think that also makes sense with what my mom passed on to me about, you know, giving birth and being a mom. I think she really loved being a mom. So from how far as I remember, I've always wanted to be a mom.
Infertility has a very specific diagnosis in the insurance world, how we code. And the diagnosis of infertility is technically 12 months of unprotected, appropriately timed intercourse without a pregnancy.
So my definition of infertility, actually I'd like to call it fertility challenged versus infertility. The medical community refers to it as infertility, and the way they describe infertility is that within a year, if a woman under 35 is not, if she hasn't conceived yet, she is considered infertile. If she's over 35 and within 6 months, if they haven't conceived, she is infertile, and then over 40. If it hasn't been 3 months, if she hasn't conceived, then she is considered infertile.
Fertility challenge could include couples who don't need to engage in fertility treatment. They simply need to keep trying for a little bit longer. And in fact, physicians will often tell their patients, if they're young and haven't tried for a year, that they need to go and try for another couple of months before they come back in for fertility treatment. Because the most common thing that couples mess up when they're trying to get pregnant is timing.
It's been a year and 3 months now that I stopped taking contraceptives.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Sure, whatever you say. Sounds good.
Even when people are given a diagnosis of infertility, of being sterile, it doesn't mean that all hope is gone.
So normally the egg and the sperm are fertilized in the tube. They meet each other in the tube, the fallopian tube of a woman, and that's where fertilization takes place. And then the fertilized egg grows into an embryo, and that goes into the uterine cavity and implants into the uterus, and the pregnancy starts to grow there and stays there. In IUI, in intrauterine insemination, we actually we don't take out the eggs, we just put more sperm closer to the egg.
They decided to do an IUI, which is putting my sperms into my uterus, like with medical assistance, and that failed. That was last month. So now we are going to do an IVF.
In vitro fertilization, which is a lot higher success rate, and we're going to be doing that in April.
Yeah.
In 1 month, I believe.
Yeah.
IVF is in vitro fertilization, and that means literally in vitro means in glass, so in a glass dish fertilization, so outside of the body.
I don't understand even yet. What is this artificial insemination thing? Have you ever heard of it before, George?
The term test tube babies is an old term that really came into existence when IVF was in its infancy. I think because society did not understand what was happening in IVF, I think people actually believed that babies were being made, like full-grown babies, somehow in test tubes.
You are not recreating yourself in another person. It's just like what happens with a couple when they make a baby. You know, there's his sperm, her egg, and they make an embryo. And it's just like any other healthy baby that's being created in a different way. That's the difference.
The term was created out of fear. Babies are not created in test tubes. In fact, test tubes are not used typically in the creation of embryos. It's a petri dish. Now we're going to call them petri dish babies. But it's the egg and sperm that are turned into the embryo in a petri dish. And an embryo is only 3 to 5 days old. It still just looks like a couple of cells when it's transferred into a woman's body.
Of course, everybody wants to just make the baby naturally and in the bedroom. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's easier. It's, it's not clinical. And you don't have to take people's blood and, go to the doctors before you go to work.
I can't work out, I can't move. We have a lot of restrictions. I have special diets. And I just feel like not in a good place in my body. And apparently it's normal according to the doctors, but it is not easy. It is like a change in your life.
Infertility is another type of trauma that's very personal for women that is also not often talked about or taken by non-infertile people very seriously.
I tend to offer my patients support, psychological support, just so that they know that we care more. It's not just the biology of what we're doing, but it's actually seeing them as a couple and wanting them to be able to get through the treatment process without being too stressed out or too overwhelmed.
Mike's been really awesome for that, for calming me down and be like, putting things in perspective, be like, it's only been 2 months that we've trying and it's not that long and I'll come. So it's good, yeah, we're lucky to have each other, I guess.
Then if she gets a negative pregnancy result, all of that effort and she feels sad. So this kind of cycle, and then she gets herself all pumped up again, and the anxiety starts to increase. And so there's this kind of a cycle of hope and despair that I see before we finally get to, she's pregnant.
We didn't want to do it originally, but that's kind of, after talking to our doctor, it was just the next step. And, we figured if it's made in the lab, it'll be like a super baby and be 7 feet tall and, really strong.
There are some people who feel that IVF is taking something that is controlled by higher powers and attempting to put it in human hands.
Like when you talk to the doctor, you can tell that they're really, they're not playing God, they're not playing witches or whatever. They're really just trying and help out people that need help, but they're not doing anything unethical at all, and they're really serious about the ethics, and I really appreciate that.
Once that embryo's in there, we all go like this. We have no idea if that embryo is good enough to hatch out of its shell, implant into the uterine wall, and continue cell division. If you believe in a higher power, that part would be up to God. If it's in God's plan for IVF to work, then it will work. If it's not in God's plan for IVF to work, then it will not.
On the one hand, it is about medicine and the preciseness and the hormones and the different drugs that women are taking, but it's also an art. So it's like the perfect word, because every time that a doctor is working with a patient, she or he is doing it in a different way and is trying to find kind of the right cocktail, so to speak, the hormonal cocktail for the couple to make it work. And it can take several tries to get it just right. So they're artists and they're doctors.
I think that it's 2014 and we have the science that helps people who need it, and there's no reason why we shouldn't use it.
So, to the group that doesn't believe in what I do, I would say, well, you certainly don't have to utilize it. But I know that I know the number of lives that I've changed, the number of families I created, and that's God's work as well. So,
even though it's medically assisted, it enables you to have like your own baby and to also be able to carry the baby yourself.
It's such an isolating experience, to be going through this. So many people feel so alone. I've even heard of a woman who took her life because of this. It is not necessary. There are people out there that are also in this pain, and when we come together, we can support each other. And it takes some time. If you could let go of when and how it's going to happen, and just open your heart and open your mind to that it will happen.
Just because I wear glasses doesn't mean I'm a nerd.
Just because I wear my hair natural does not mean I'm Afrocentric.
Just because I wear dreads doesn't mean I'm a thug.
Just because I'm tall doesn't mean I play ball.
And just because I'm short doesn't mean I can't play. Just because I bob my head does not mean I'm listening to rap music.
Don't assume the expected.
Growing up on Chicago West Side, my mom and her twin sister were just two examples of individuals coping with the difficulties raised through the lack of adequate support, job opportunities, poor education systems, and epidemic incarceration of others within their community. In order for members of these communities to thrive, the structural barriers must be overcome through the understanding of deeper issues such as in a disinvestment in community resources.
You now put a moniker on the community or a name on the community that says it's blighted, that it's disinvested, that it's quote unquote a ghetto, a slum. Now you've created this other space where people now can internalize that and actually think that to be true. Thinking about a community like North Lawndale, it's a larger story than drugs and drug addiction and drug distribution. I think it's critically important to think about how quality of life issues have been compromised in many ways over the last 60 years in North Lawndale.
People don't want to move here, so the property value has gone down. Jobs don't want, or businesses don't want to come here, so there's not a good employment base here.
They don't have that when you turn TV on, you listen to the radio, that you always see some black face on TV committing crime, and all that's just part of the system, just trying to justify whatever they're doing for us, the judicial system.
If you listen to the news, the number of shootings and robbings and stabbings on a regular basis are here all the time. So if you look at North Lawndale more than anything else, everything about the community has gone down.
In actuality, we have 60 years of destabilization.
They can't keep stores in the little malls that are around here. People are trying to move out. They don't send their kids here to school. So the community is dying.
As I ride to the neighborhood, the thoughts come to my mind is I remember when I was younger, our neighborhood, I'm not saying it was real prosperous, but there was a lot of life. Wasn't all these vacant lots and everything in the neighborhood. I ride to, I see a lot of despair. Got a lot of people out here today that don't have a lot of hope right now.
Make it difficult for a person to buy a home or rent an apartment. Then they have to do other things to survive, to get to the next day. And then a substandard school system that may not allow you to think about these issues and concerns critically. People now may be suffering from depression because of that condition, hence the proliferation of particular drugs because that feeling goes unaddressed.
Nobody gets up in the morning and thinks they're going to be an addict. Most of the time people who are using drugs get the drugs or become involved in drug use based on family, friends, community.
If we understand drug addiction and drug abuse as a symptom of that destabilization, then we can think about the community holistically. You're feeling that there isn't a particular option, then one of the ways to try to alleviate the pain would be to self-medicate. To numb this thing that's perpetually making you question your existence.
I take everything back to slavery. We've been taught as a people not to trust and hate each other. During the civil rights era, we fought together for us to attain certain rights. Today, it's a lot different. A lot of those rights that we fought for, it's like we aren't taking advantage of it right now.
Young people have got to take some ownership for this. You know, it's not okay, in my opinion, just to be a subpar teenager.
If you've never seen anybody go to school or work a job and come home on a regular basis, then you believe that this is the way to make money. And it's definitely an easy way.
The majority of folks who are in hand-to-hand, open-air drug markets are not engaging in that work to get rich, right? Most of those folks are engaging in that work to eat. So in many cases, you have families for generations who have only been able to survive because those support networks have all been taken away.
It has to do with that's all your family has ever done. Here in this facility, we've had times where we've had 5 generations from the same family in here doing the exact same thing.
For me, I really want to think about that system, because if there are no support networks, and if we don't have any knowledge of those support networks, then what can we actually do? And blame is thrust on us.
From the community, wherever you have drug sales, you tend to have a deterioration of that community. Just look around in any of your districts.
These spots that used to be drug spots been taken over with gentrification going on and everything. So now you got these dope guys battling for the same area, you know, within a confined space. And you get a lot of shootings, you get a lot of fighting and all that stuff, people getting hurt. I tell the guys out here all the time that the least thing that can happen to you out here is you get arrested. The worst thing that you can get beat down real bad, you can get killed.
Let's go from the community portion. The arrest of that person, it is seen as a relief. This person isn't out there selling drugs, impacting the quality of life of the community.
So if you have a felony in Illinois, you can't hold almost 60 jobs. You can't be an electrician, you can't teach. So this thing around looking at how disenfranchisement negatively affects communities, it's kind of long-term imprisonment for people for nonviolent drug offenses, doesn't work at all. When we talk about the prison industrial complex, when we talk about mass incarceration, I always think about the issue of nonviolent drug offenses, people who now have no support networks.
During the rise of crack cocaine in the system, presidents and Congress, whatever, they put in that if you did certain crimes, judges had to go by a set of standards and they had to go with the minimum sentences.
Black males 18 to 35, 25% are in jail. If we look at current incarceration rates, 1 in every 40 black people are either incarcerated or under some form of state supervision. There are more black people in jail now than there were folks listed as slaves in 1850.
A young black male is more liable to be arrested out here and be jailed any other sector in society.
Is this a product of a system that perpetually dehumanizes people?
When they talk about something being epidemic, it just really is.
You know, there's a temporary relief, but it is just that, it's temporary. Because everybody that goes in jail for drugs does not stay in jail for drugs. That person eventually comes home.
What usually happens when people are incarcerated for nonviolent drug offenses, if there's nothing for them out when they're released, then we get into the issue of recidivism.
Those folks go back to what they knew, and that is, at the end of the day, they know how to make money.
It's critical to have support networks in place. I don't think you should have treatment over here, education over here.
Well, the things I think that we can do better is to get into schools earlier than what we do.
It's not so much rested in a bad person, but a set of decisions and a condition that, if you're unable to see it, can be heavily detrimental to your life.
Even though my aunt fell victim to drug issues within her community, she is no longer suffering due to this brutal reality. However, it still remains a problem not only on the west side of Chicago, but all over the country as well. Situations such as these can only be changed by understanding and changing the structural issues and law enforcement policies with which low-income communities are faced.
gonna talk to my sister? I don't think so. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. Because you're a nobody.
Don't just stand there, say something.
En los jóvenes conocidos como los Dreamers, veo las mismas cualidades que Michelle y yo tratamos de inculcar en nuestras hijas. Respetan a sus padres, estudian para superarse y quieren aportar al único país que conocen y aman. Como padre, me inspiran. Y como presidente, su valentía me ha hecho recordar que ningún obstáculo es muy grande, ningún camino muy largo.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The ratchet refuse of the teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamb beside the golden door.
The American dream, to me personally, has to do a lot with opportunity.
Whatever it is that makes a person happy. The American dream is the house, the great job, the 2.5 kids with the dog and the white picket fence.
Mexico is home to over 117 million people. Undocumented Mexican immigrants make up 60% of the U.S. immigrant population.
Because I think essentially people come to this country because there's opportunities here that are unavailable in Mexico.
It's the story that drew so many of your ancestors here, that America's a place where you can make it if you try.
I think sometimes people forget that poverty in the U.S. is different from poverty in a third world country.
I think the other important thing to realize is that our own immigration policies have created this problem of undocumented immigration.
And migration in itself, we make it seem like it is a really big problem, but only about 1% of the global population migrate.
And for many, it represented the end of a long and arduous journey. They'd finally arrived in a place where they believed anything was possible. And for some, it also represented the beginning of a new struggle against prejudice in a country that didn't always treat its immigrants fairly or afford them the same rights as everybody else.
I think there's a variety of reasons that Mexicans choose to leave Mexico. I think undocumented immigrant population has felt forced out either because of the complete lack of opportunity in Mexico or because of violence.
Because I think essentially people come to this country because there's opportunities here that are unavailable in Mexico.
There's an urge to support their families, to be able to provide a living. I think that's, all of those are reasons why people come here. It makes sense for there to be a protection of our borders and a protection of our populace through deportation. The unfortunate thing is that now we've expanded things like the types of crimes it can count. So now something like shoplifting could actually get you deported even if you've been here for 40 years.
We tend to think of deportation as a return home, but it really is not, because a lot of these people have have lived here for many, many years. Some people have grown up here. They were brought here as babies. They don't know the language of the country from where their parents are. They don't know the economy. They can't get jobs. They are not competitive there, and they can be heavily discriminated.
Part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
We have about 48 flights a week from various parts of the United States. They are not U.S. citizens. They never came through a port of entry and checked in with us. And that visa expired and they didn't leave.
So we're creating a lot more problems by deporting people than we are solving. Deportation is not a deterrent. People, and we know that because people who get deported enter again and again. Like, there are people who have been deported multiple times.
Really think of as a minor crime or a minor violation. There are all sorts of these types of ways that we've used deportation that I think have made it very unjust.
Deportation is unjust. It is very unfair. It severs people's ties to family members and friends here. And the studies show that the presence of immigrants actually improves the economy because immigration creates demand in itself.
That we're proposing would boost our economy and shrink our deficits. Independent economists have said that if the Senate bill became law over the next 2 decades, our economy would grow by $1.4 trillion more, and it would reduce our deficits by $850 billion more.
And we don't realize that bringing in more people in areas that are becoming depopulated can actually revive the economy.
Because they're here. I mean, the reality is they are here. They're working, you know, like whether or not you see it on a piece of paper doesn't mean that they don't exist.
But when it comes to immigration reform, we have to have the confidence to believe we can get this done, and we should get it done. And by the way, most Americans agree.
Tell you a story about a girl named Aaliyah who didn't believe that she can make it in life, so she didn't set goals for herself.
Some boys convince girls that it feels better without a condom.
Aaliyah's friends told her that she couldn't get pregnant the first time having sex.
50% of girls who are sexually active have an STI.
Aaliyah ended up getting pregnant and tested positive for an STI.
76.7% of girls do not use birth control.
The power of protection is everything.
Wait until you're ready.
Get tested. It's your life. It's your body.
The following newscast pokes fun at stereotypes and issues that we as young media makers see within the media on a daily basis. Please note that we decide to question these issues in a fun, satirical way, so enjoy the show and don't take it too seriously.
Welcome to FSM Night News. I am Elizabeth Grutchen. Yes, I am. Okay, well, today's show, we're going to be having a few little jokes and riddle and diddles and piddles and hiddles. Why did the seabird cross the ocean? To see the sea. Of course. Okay, tough crowd here tonight. All right, okay. Why did the banana peel? Because it had to split. Okay, that was funny, right? Okay, please. Here's another one for you. Why did the audience say boo? Oh no, because they all had to use the potty. Would you like to get up here and do this? I didn't think so.
Warning, the following stories are completely fictitious and should not be taken seriously. Please don't try this at home.
We have an exciting show for you today, full of great news and the latest updates.
That's right, India. So don't relax or kick off your shoes. We hope you hate the show.
FSM News starts in 3,
2,
1. Hello and welcome to FSM News. I'm India Connor.
No, Tyrone Burnett.
Tyrone, have you seen the Vine video when Jerry Perpjang was getting arrested and didn't want his Jordans to touch the ground?
Get on the ground! Put your feet on the ground! Officer, they brand new J's though.
Oh yeah, that was too funny. Let's check out some of the latest Vine remakes.
What? You want some?
No, I'm actually working.
Oh well.
Oh my gosh, me and my girls can do it so much better. Watch this.
Wait. 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 Oh yes, wait a minute.
Man, these girls can't sing. I know they ain't singing for me.
Get back here, Mr. Postman. That was so nasty and so rude.
Man, if y'all don't stop chasing me, I told y'all I ain't got nothing for y'all today.
Me and my girl Tasia can do it so much better. Watch this.
Oh wow, those girls can really sing.
Spray cam.
I'm glad that wasn't me.
That's exactly what you get. Let's get back to our show. Here's the latest celebrity gossip.
Today on ZMT, we caught Snevin and his new girlfriend eating lunch. Haha, wonder what was on their plate. Must have been finger-licking good. We also have an exclusive video of KZ fighting his wife's sister over chicken. Where's the watermelon? And also a video of Bobby Rick and his new girlfriend, Granny Patty.
So today on ZMT, we got Smevin Farr and his new girlfriend, Wizard Legs.
Honey, are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Eat up.
Thanks, hon.
I don't know what's up with this couple.
Wizard Legs?
Wizard
Legs.
You
got Warlock for a girlfriend?
And they call her Wizard Legs?
Yeah,
Wait, that's so awkward. She gotta pick him up to kiss him.
Right. She could skip to a different state. Her legs just. What is that?
That's funny, that's funny.
Oh, and I just found this 8-year-old girl, and she just found the cure for cancer.
You could have came stronger.
Why would that be news? We're ZMT, Hannah.
Y'all wanna do it?
Boring. We should fire you like ASAP.
You could have came a little more stronger with that, because that news is not really good news.
But I have a better story.
Go ahead.
Okay. How to be like me and take 1,000 selfies in a day. Hashtag selfie queen.
Right there, that's what I'm talking
about.
That's
smart. Everybody's gonna love that story.
That is real.
Get like me, Hannah.
News.
Hey, we obtained footage of KZ fighting over chicken wings with Salome.
I wonder what type of chicken wing that was.
I think it was that buffalo.
The buffalo wing.
Yeah.
That's that stuff, boy.
Hey, we called Bob and Rick talking about his new song, and he found his new love, Grandma Patty.
Grandma Patty?
Ew. That sounds like some diapers.
Come on. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Rick. Bob and Rick, man.
Yeah, man.
This the girl you was talking about in your song?
Yes,
this the
yes,
girl
it is.
you was talking about in your song?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, my.
No further questions. Move on.
Make sure you stay tuned and catch more ZMT at 6 and 10:30 Eastern Time.
Hey, I'm offended. There's nothing wrong with dating someone taller than you.
I agree. That's so not right.
Oh, really? So, India, want to go out this weekend?
No. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Camera rolling, action in 3, 2, 1.
Free Spirit Media, an after-school program that teaches high school students all aspects of broadcasting production. They learn how to research story topics and interview sources to create a newscast.
No, I do not know what Free Spirit Media is, and I do not know what you're filming me for.
I thought it was Facebook social media.
That's what you guys are, right? That's why you recorded me. So, like, I guess like a media program.
I would say it got something to do with Harold's Chicken Special on Tuesdays. Yes, indeed it does. Delicious. No.
But while I'm here, shout out to all my Instagram followers. Y'all can follow me at Latte Don't Play, you know.
The students receive a seasonal check.
You get money from being in this program?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do I sign up?
I want to buy a car, a house, some shoes, some earrings exchange.
Baby, I'm already rich. Did you see me? Hair, outfit?
Ooh. Okay. So, I need a new weave. So, I'm just going to buy my new weave with my money. But you know what? It's all right. Because I'm getting paid.
I'll see y'all later. Thanks for the tripod.
But sir, we need that tripod. Sir, we need that tripod.
What?
Ma'am.
Dungeon man.
Free Spirit Media News is a great place for aspiring youth to gain good experience in the world of journalism.
3, 2, 1, let's wrap.
Have you heard of the new movie called Monday?
What? Don't you mean Friday?
No, I mean Monday.
No, but maybe watching the movie trailer will help me understand. Take it away, crew.
It's hot. They in the hood. What happened to the girls on a Monday?
How you not gonna love Love and Hip Hop though?
Let me tell you, Love and Hip Hop is straight garbage, man. All these reality shows with these black women doing the same thing, hitting, throwing drinks in their face, taking their man, all types of ratchetness.
Okay, fine then. So what the Boondocks got? They got Riley, they got Hewitt. They got
it's Huey. Get your facts straight.
Same thing.
It got
Potato,
social
potato,
commentary. It's showing you all this mess that's happening in the black community. It's you know it's waking us up, man.
You know what? But you telling me that Love and Hip Hop don't?
No, no.
Fine. What?
No.
Wait. Here comes Jerome. Look at Jerome. Here he come. Hey, Jerome. You know he was looking at me, right?
No.
Yep.
No.
That's the thing.
At me.
Please, nobody wants your charisma.
Nobody.
Why you always think somebody wants you?
Look at you. You busted and disgusted.
It's the struggle every time the neighborhood bully come around.
What you doing? Hey, what you doing?
Starring Fire Cube, Christina Ducker, Nino Long, Don Weatherford, Alec Nice, and Tina Lobster.
What you talking about? There's buns to catch up.
We don't have any hot dogs.
There's vegetables. You put your vegetables on the bun.
See Monday in theaters. On Monday.
Well, that's our show for today. Check us out next week for more awful postman singing.
But what if we can't wait until then?
I'm glad you asked. Viewers can also check us out on Facebook. Search FSM News.
And don't forget, you can also find us on ABC7, Chicago's website, in the community section.
You can also check us out on KMTV, channels 19 and 27.
And now on Twitter and Instagram. 3,
2,
1.
That's a wrap.
Spray cam.
I think one went up my nose.
Okay. Pops, how come we don't have any food in there?
What you talking about? It's buns and ketchup.
We don't have any hot dogs.
Dang, I done forgot what I had to say.
You want to miss something.
We don't have any hot dogs.
There's vegetables. You put your vegetables on the bun.
What?
Jog! Bounce it. Bounce it.
What are you
That is not jogging. I don't know what. 2, 1.
Sir, can we interview you?
Nope.
We getting Harold's after this.
Camera rolling. Action.
Stop
it.
smiling.
Sir, can you please give me your name?
Free Spirit Media News is a great place for good experience for
What is?
That's you. That's a part.
It could have been.
Okay, come on. That's exactly what you get. Let's get back to the. Do it again. That's exactly what you get for laughing at me.
Free Spirit Media cultivates diverse youth voices to transform media and society.